time now for Coming In Hot with Brent Wallace and former Ottawa Senator Jason York.
Good morning, everybody. Brent Wallace, Jason York. Welcome to Coming In Hot. This show proudly presented to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Use code NATION. And we'll be back later with our picks in the show, including Charlie's Choice. By the way, Yorkie, good to see you. Charlie's Choice is coming under fire for Charlie always going to the right. So
I saw that. Is that I don't know, because I flipped it around a couple times. I'm just trying to think. I did a couple by the Christmas tree. I did one over by the main entrance. There might be something to it. She might be right-eye dominant.
I have an idea.
Let's see what happens today. Who knows what happens today? Does she go to the right again today? Then we'll know.
So, I don't know if you flip the sheets upside down so she can't see the teams and then you reveal them after. Maybe it's
I know.
We'll have to see. Anyway,
a dog knows what a dog knows, Wally. And before we get going, speaking of dogs, Casper Dogevins announcing his retirement yesterday. One of my all-time favorite Sens. Oh my God! There's something about certain players, right?
Yeah.
You just kind of. Here's the thing. I'll tell you something. If I was going to go to a hockey game and I was going to put on an Ottawa Senators jersey, it might be a Dogevins jersey. It might be a Dogevins.
Listen, not a lot of time in Ottawa. He didn't speak very much, all that stuff. And obviously, when you're a fourth line player, you don't get a lot of attention. That's just a given. But he had a personality that if he was you wanted to talk with. I did appreciate him. His shootout goal, his jumping around the locker room, the dog barking. He was and he was widely regarded back home. He was I'll say a superstar.
Superstar. There was a funny moment too with Dogevins. I don't remember. Just a long time ago. I got a weird memory. I remember weird shit. Randy Moeller, who did play-by-play and color for the Florida Panthers, used to just butcher his names. He would call them Dogevins. So when I was doing radio, we used to do the soundbite. Whenever he did something, we'd do that Dogevins. So there you go.
If I'm not mistaken, it's not is it Randy Moeller that used to babysit Jacques Martin's kids?
Oh boy, you got me there. Well,
there's a connection. Anyway,
yeah, that's a tidbit that I don't know about that babysitting.
Casper's Dogevins ended up playing 91 NHL games, 6 goals, 15 points, 9. Most of those goals with all 6 goals with the Ottawa Senators. By the way,
well, I am a dog guy. You know, the Rourke dog, Dogevins.
That's right.
Charlie, Gertie. We love our dogs on this show.
It's a dog-friendly show. Yeah. It's not a shark-friendly show, Yorkie. That's where we're going to get to today. We do have giveaways in this. It is giveaway week. We're going to continue. I will tell you, I'm giving away a hoodie today. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but we're going to do it anyway. A Coming In Hot hoodie, as well as we have one more Thomas Chabot bobblehead to give away.
Nice.
And just in case you don't win, but you're looking for some Coming In Hot merch, it's Black Friday coming, and we're going to do a Black Friday sale. If you go to nationgear.ca, you can get up to 15% off all your Nation Gear stuff, which includes the Coming In Hot merch. And if you spend over $200, you get free shipping. So go to nationgear.ca, 15% off, over $200. We'll give you free shipping. So here, you know what? We're going to do this right now. Here's the trivia question for a free Coming In Hot hoodie, and another winner will get a Thomas Chabot bobblehead. By the way, Canada Post is on sale, on strike. So if you don't get your stuff right away, as for the hoodie, if you're not in Canada, I'm not sure I can get it to you without you guys paying the international shipping. So just keep that in mind. Here's the trivia question. Who scored the Ottawa Senators' first goal in franchise history against the San Jose Sharks?
Oh, I think I know that one.
Can you wait? Just we'll get to it at the end of the show. Just wait. All right. I never. Yeah.
Speaking of Thanksgiving, I am going to venture out to the Sawgrass Mills outlets on Black Friday, Wally. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts out there. But I can't resist. I love a good deal.
Dave Schreiber, the funniest story ever. I didn't know about the Sawgrass Mills Mall until
And for those that don't know, it's got every single store in this. It's like for people in Ottawa, it's like Tanger on like jacked up on steroids. It's got everything you want there. It's crazy.
But it's not the most direct. It's not laid out very well. It's laid out, but it's massive, and so
how big is it? How big is it?
It's ginormous. But you can get
Miles.
lost, if you will, misdirected. Dave Schreiber, Gord Wilson tells this story about how Dave Schreiber bought a suit there, and he spent, I think, 8 hours going over this suit of whether or not he wanted to buy it, and then he couldn't get out of the Sawgrass Mills Mall. Like it's a hilarious story. Anyway, that's the Sawgrass Mills Mall, huge. Just anyway, it's huge.
It's
well,
like
good luck.
It's like the maze in The Shining. Once you get out and in there, you just can't get out. It's just crazy. But it's got. I'm gonna go to my favorite store, the Penguin store. I love the Penguin store.
Do you know what I've become? Oh, let's just move on. No one get crap right now about the Sawgrass Mills Mall. This is the American Thanksgiving is coming up. But you know what we've said about this? American Thanksgiving is where if you're not in, you're out.
Yeah.
The Sens are going to enter tonight's game out of a playoff spot and 2 games below 500. But they have the San Jose game and they do have the LA game to finish out November. They could get to 500 by the end of November. They're not out of the playoffs by any stretch. If they win tonight, by the way, Yorkie, or even against LA, they have the second most wins in the last 5 years in the month of November, which is crazy.
There you go. Spin it, Wally. Spin it for the positive here. It might be out. And the differential is not terrible. They're -2. I think Buffalo currently sits in that last wild card spot at +2. This is a really important road trip, no matter how you want to spin it. You get out of this trip, you win a couple of games, you get at least 5 points would be nice on this trip. Get 5 out of 6, and these are doable games. You got this West Coast trip swing used to be the swing of pain, but now you're looking at a rebuilding San Jose team. LA, they're off to a good start, but that's a beatable team, and then you got the Ducks who are in a total rebuild. So I'm sure that they're not looking too far ahead, but in the back of everybody's mind, they need a massive trip here.
So here's a look at how they have done the last 5 trips since 2019. They struggle mightily against the San Jose Sharks.
Yeah,
but against LA, they've been pretty good. And then there's Anaheim, which I think is a team that's ripe for the taking. It just depends on what the fatigue factor is on the 3rd game of this trip.
Yeah. I'll tell you something, Wally, about going. You and I were talking about this off camera. I lived and I played in Anaheim, and you feel like $1 million when you're on the West Coast. When you travel there, most players, and I felt this way, you feel more energized because when you get up in the morning, you gain those 3 hours and you just feel awesome. The sun's shining, you go to the rink, the vitamin D's coming on you. You're not like, look at our weather in Ottawa compared to our the weather that's going on in California right now. So it's much harder to go the other way if you're playing for Anaheim. And I remember having to travel to play in the East Coast. You're a little bit fatigued versus the other way around where you feel great. And the best thing to do is to keep yourself kind of on Eastern time. And you'll say, well, the game's at night, but hey, like guys aren't going to bed at 10 o'clock at night. So it's fatigue factor. I don't believe in it. It's more if you're playing back-to-back games, sure. But hey, it's early in the season. These guys are in unbelievable shape. You're flying around in a beautiful chartered jet. There's the food. Guys eat better on the road than they do at home. You get on that jet, there's everything's there that you want. It's just a lot of guys, especially guys with kids, Wally. Guys with kids are more rested on the road, to tell you the truth.
Yep.
And
I love being on the road because all you do is you just take care of yourself. You have nothing else to worry about. And if you're an NHL player, everything is laid out.
What time say this here? So the old, I think it's an old tired take, tired, pardon the pun. Back in the day when teams flew commercial, and you went to, you know why it was tiring on the road? Because guys partied on the road, because guys played in the city, then they went out after the game and they got hammered, And especially if you won, and the next day you were hungover, and then you had to either practice, and then you played the next day. Then after that game, you would play, and you'd go out again, and that's the way the NHL used to be until charters came in, and then you leave after each game, and you're just. And a lot of teams like doing that on the management side because let's get the guys out of the city so they can't go out. That's but now it's true. Like I remember coming into the league at first, like you played, and it became that's how you got tired. But now I just find guys are more rested on the road, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. All right, let's get to the game where the Sharks are coming off a big 7-2 win over the LA Kings. Macklin Celebrini, as the Sens will get a first look at him. I don't know who's in goal.
We'll see.
I think they have sent down Ashcroft. He is on the NHL game notes. He's not on the official NHL roster. I believe he's been sent back down. So I don't know who the two starting goaltenders are. I know we may differ on this, but I think it's got to be Linus Ullmark. Why?
Reason? Yeah. His record is great. I know that he's 5-0.
Yeah. Like and I'm going to tell you, like, I remember the old days prior DJ Smith where goalie records mattered. I do remember that. I just think it's a winnable game, and he's got to have the net. At some point, Linus Ullmark has to take over this team and be the number one guy where you're like shocked if he's not playing.
Adam Gudet was supposed to play in the minors. He was on the first line last game.
He's not going to be paid $8 million next year either, Yorkie. This is we're in a whole different. We're talking about a goaltender, not a winger. There's a complete difference here. You need a goaltender to win you games. We said all along this team needs goaltending to win them games almost single-handedly if they want to make the playoffs. I need Linus Ullmark to be better.
Well, you got goaltending last game with Forsberg. They won. I'm fine if it's me and I'm playing and in my position I'm in right now. I'm fine with whatever they decide to do. I get the angle of let's get Ullmark going. Winnable game against San Jose, at least on paper. Nothing's winnable for sure. Nothing's guaranteed in this league. Don't forget, this team has to get on a winning streak. They can't continue to lose a bunch of games and then I'll win a game, or just they've got to get things going. And boy, I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be Travis Green right now if you're thinking about this. But I don't think no matter who he chooses to play, I believe Ullmark will come ready to play. It is a game with the record and all that. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm good with I get either way you try and go on this one. And at the end of the day, this eventually it would be great for Ottawa to get to a place, because that's how you're going to become a really good team this year. It doesn't matter who's playing.
So I'm with you on that.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I would be okay if you're like, okay, well, it doesn't matter. Let's rotate. Right? We just haven't seen Linus Ullmark.
I know. Hey, listen, I know. We saw it for a bit. Like he was
the really Ranger game. Absolutely.
He not busy in the Boston game, but timely saves. Very good in the Toronto game. So, like I said, I'm cool with whoever goes in the net tonight. I just think, from a man, this team has to come out against San Jose and just be suffocating. Just play. I'll use the term we heard all the time: mature hockey. Let San Jose beat themselves. Don't make silly mistakes. Don't turn the puck over. You get a chance to clear the puck on a penalty kill, it's down the ice 200 feet. It's not kept in and you get scored on. Don't make silly mistakes. Don't gift goals.
What I will this is going to sound. I will say I feel a lot more comfortable right now with Anton Forsberg in goal.
Well, there you go. You just answered your own question.
I'm still starting Linus Ullmark.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, because I get that. But I also understand the coach's mentality. You're dressing the 20 guys that feel right now give you the best opportunity to win, especially with your goaltender. So it's going to come down to a gut feel with the coaches.
Okay, we'll get to our picks in just a sec. This show proudly presented to you by Charm Diamond Centers, proudly Canadian owned and operated since 1972 with more than 85 locations across the country. Through Charm and their sister brands, get custom ring building delivered in less than 4 weeks with the Charm Masterpiece program and unbeatable pricing policy. Check out their sales right now going on. Check out a large selection of Canadian lab-grown diamonds, mine diamonds, and don't pay until 2025 with their instant in-store financing on approved credit. For more information, go to charmdiamondcenters.com. The West. So all I've ever heard of when you start out west, though, the legs are heavy. And I'm just curious, when you start the game in San Jose, is there
It
an
used to
adjustment
be
period?
when San Jose was a really good team back in those Joe Thornton days. They used to come out just rolling in the first period. They swarmed you in that building. Well, you've been in that building. It was a loud building. It was a really tough building to play. I played it many times, especially when I was in Anaheim. We had a really good rivalry going with San Jose. Very tough building to play. Listen, your legs. Here's the thing with legs. As a player, sometimes they're just heavy for no reason. I went into games at home and I'm like, what the hell? I feel like shit. And I had a great meal. I slept well. I practiced well, and all of a sudden you show up and you got heavy legs. There's other times where you played back-to-back games. You think you should, maybe 3 and 4. You're like, man, I feel like $1 million. It's just the body's a weird thing. So, like I said, it's these guys prepare so well now, Wally. It's just especially early in the year, guys aren't that banged up yet. I don't see any reason why any team would be coming in with heavy legs, especially the predicament the Ottawa Senators find themselves right now, where you're heading in to play a team that's at the bottom of the league. You're near the bottom of the league. You're not supposed to be there. They're supposed to be there. Let's go. Let's get it going. No excuses.
They have played 500 hockey of late, so they're not an easy out on the bingo card, as we like to say.
Well, no, nobody is.
So going into this game, by the way, who do you think leads the Senators in scoring on the road?
Scoring on the road. Are we just talking goals? Are we talking points?
We can do both, but I will take scoring, and then I'm going to ask you about goals.
I don't know. Let's go with Stutz. It's not Stutzla, because you wouldn't be asking me that question. So
Tim Stützle has 6 points on the road in 9 games.
Yeah, let's go with point-wise. Let's go with Drake Batherson.
Brady Tkachuk leads all players with 9 points in 9 road games, 3 goals, 3 assists. Who is the goal scorer with the most goals on the road?
Adam Gaudette.
Claude Giroux.
Oh, got me again.
I was a little shocked by that. To me, it was just interesting, but yeah. So
here's the difference too. Just back to the other little chat we were having.
Yeah,
Ottawa's got players on their roster. There's no Timmy Stützle that can take over a game on San Jose. They don't have a Brady Tkachuk. They don't have a Claude Giroux. It's a different roster. So
right, they've got Michael Granlund. Although he didn't play the last game. I'm not sure if he's in tonight or not.
Stop it.
Come on.
He's tiny.
Well, so Tim Stützle's ginormous suddenly. Like
Granlund's a nice player, but Granlund on a good team is on your third line.
Okay. All right.
Come on.
Guy. Is he not?
No. Granlund is an NHL player, but he's not. He's not. I don't want him on my team.
What?
No. Granlund's a type of player.
Sorry, 60-point guy. He's got 24 points in 23 games this year.
Okay, because he's playing every first power play. Of course he's going to have those points. That's what happens. Somebody has to get points on bad teams. It's called the David Vaborny rule of law in the NHL. You know who David Vaborny is?
He played in, actually, yes, I do, because he played in Fredericton for the Baby Habs, if I'm not mistaken.
David Vaborny used to play on the Columbus Blue Jackets when the Columbus Blue Jackets were a really bad team, and he made lots of money. He got pretty decent amount of points. He's usually good for 50 points a year. Columbus lost all the time. David got his points. He got paid, and he had a nice little career. There's a David Verborny, and I'm not trying to disrespect David Verborny, but there's a
Well,
David Verborny on every NHL team. That's how the NHL works. On bad teams, you need guys like that to fill your roster until the team is ready to win, and the young guys mature. And then when you're ready to win, you get rid of those guys, and then you bring in a different team. That's just how the NHL works. It's called the David Verborny rule.
Okay, so Smitty Designs just said Granlund's getting 3 apples on Celebrini's first career hat trick tonight. So we'll see how this goes. All right, time. We're gonna get to our picks because I want to get in Charlie's choice early on here. So Yorkie, take care of some business.
All right, taking care of business with BEI. BEI is the company you need for equipment rentals, aggregate topsoil sales, as well as custom crushing and screening, hot mix paving. They can do it all for you, Wally. So when planning your next project, please consider BI for all your aggregate supplies. You can reach them at 613-432-1120 or on the web at montreexcavating.com. BI helping to shape the Ottawa Valley. And please remember to slow down in construction zones.
And of course, as always, by our good friends and proud presenting partners, Bet365. Open an account today, but on a huge range of markets. So whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Use code NATION. Must be 19 years of age or older. Please play responsibly. Download the app where you will find today's odds, which have, maybe not shockingly, the Ottawa Senators as the favorites in this game. I hit the parlay last game, by the way, and nearly got it in the Philly game until they lost in overtime, or I would have had it.
Whoa! That would have been
Here's
big,
the
Wally.
one today. So Sens to win. Drake Batherson 3 shots on goal. Drake Batherson 1 point. That's at plus 275.
Okay, I like some of that action, but I'm a little distracted right now. I'm hockey DBing David Verborny because I'm watching. Jake, we gotta get his career stats up there.
No, Jake, pay no attention to Yorkie right now. So I would just say I'm taking the part. I'm obviously I can't imagine we're taking San Jose, but let's see what Charlie has to say about all this. It's
all right, Charlie. It's time for Charlie's choice. We got Ottawa on the West Coast facing the San Jose Sharks. Sharks not having a great year, but still it's the NHL. Anybody can beat anybody in this league. It's a tough league. I played in it for a long time, and I feel it every day. Anyhow, let's see who you got. You got Ottawa, or you got San Jose?
It's not on the right. No.
There you have it, folks.
There we go.
We're going to see Ottawa Senators.
Wasn't even close.
In San Jose.
She is adamant.
The Mythbusters. It is not always the right side, Wally. As Charlie goes to the left and adamantly takes his Ottawa Senators with the victory without hesitation. How do you like my little designs there? I had a little shark fan.
Yeah.
On my.
Your arts and crafts.
The artwork's been top notch.
Your arts and crafts are very good. So Charlie's without question taking the Ottawa Senators. You, Yorkie? Oh, we do have the Challenge Cup available. You, I don't know if you're aware, have now climbed. Yeah.
Did you put that together? Poor Charlie, 1 and 2. Oh God!
I didn't want to be on the bottom anymore. Yeah,
bring the dog in so you don't have to lose.
Maybe I'll just get Gertie to make my picks. So anyway, what's your pick tonight?
I'm going with the Ottawa Senators. Yeah, I'm going with the Sens. This is a big game. They're on the road. Game 1. They know the importance of this. I think they're going to get some good goaltending tonight. No Zub, but Sanderson's playing. Sanderson's bringing the game back up again. So yeah, I like the Sens. I think Kachuk's going to have a good night. I think the bottom line is goaltending. I think they're going to get some good goaltending. Also, too, we didn't even talk about the Sens power play yesterday. How good was the Sens power play last game? So on the road, especially, it becomes sometimes a special teams game. So if the power play continues to click like this, they're going to be tough to beat against a very young and rebuilding team like the Sharks, like led by Michael Granlund.
If I'm not mistaken, their power play, the San Jose penalty kill, though, 10th overall in the league. So
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how that plays out. Ottawa's penalty kill, and Ottawa's power play sitting at 5th overall. And they do have 5 power play goals in the last 3 games. It has been, but I mean, they've all been home games, so we'll see how it goes on the road.
Brady back in front of the net, doing what he does best. If you look at guys, like that's where he needs to be, right in that front, tipping pucks, screening goalies. That's where he does his best work. That's where it's one of the best in the league at net front guy.
So will we see the one thing, and I think we talked about this yesterday, the best thing I've seen about Ottawa in the last game against Calgary was they skated much better than they have, I think, in recent memory.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's Calgary wasn't great, but I thought you always got to give a reason one team isn't great is because the other team's doing something to make that team not look great. That's what people forget sometimes. So now, much better for Ottawa. Now do it again. Do it again. It's one game. Go on to San Jose and just play. Like, quit gripping the sticks. I thought last game you get a few goals like that, you stop gripping it, and just don't make it easy for the other team. Don't make those, like I said, especially when you're killing penalties. That puck's got to go down 200 feet. Not like previous games where you're not getting your clears or you're turning pucks over. You see a lot of teams in NHL now, well, they'll get the puck. This is a tactic they use. They'll flip the puck. They flip the puck out of their zone so their players can skate onto it with speed, and then the other team's defenseman, puck's bouncing, he's going to make a play. You got to make sure if you're going to do that, your flip's got some depth on it. Sometimes the Senators were flipping it just outside the blue line. It's like you can't do that. So if there's an art to a good flip, Wally.
Last thing, by the way, here's the current streaks as they go into tonight's game. Drake Batherson 6 points in his last 4 games. Tim Stützle on a 4-game point streak. He's 2-2, and Jake Sanderson 4 points in 3 games. Claude has 4 points in 3 games. So we'll see if these continue tonight. But this group of, I'll say, of the high end players have been really, really good. Do you remember? And I meant to bring this up last game. That 4-on-4, I think it was in the second period.
Yeah,
they just dangled. They just dangled in the offensive zone for Tim Stützle. Just played around with the puck like it was a scrimmage. It was fun to watch when those guys get together. I love it when they have more ice.
That's when you play teams like a Calgary, like a San Jose. Those teams will beat you by playing a team game, good goaltending, hard work. They're good 5-on-5 teams, but you get into 4-on-4 situations when it's more skill, when it's more open ice. Then a team like Ottawa's got horses, like they've got a Batherson, they've got a Stützle, they got a Sanderson. Giroux loves 4-on-4. You give Josh Norris, like guys like that thrive in those situations.
Quickly get your answers in for who scored the Ottawa Senators' first goal in franchise history against the San Jose Sharks at cihsens@gmail.com before the end of the show so we can hand out the prizes. I was just about to add something to that. Now I don't remember. But, Brady Tkachuk, if he gets an assist tonight, will become just the 10th Senator to record 200 assists in franchise history.
Funny, you don't think of Brady as an assist guy, do you? You think goals, hits,
just a bull that just shoves pucks in the net.
Yeah, you think of his brother Matthew as the assist guy, but well, hey, what is it? Year 9 for Brady already? Year 8? How many years has he played now?
It probably feels like 72 for him right about now, but yeah.
Hey, listen, things change in a hurry in this game. All of a sudden, you pile together 3-4 wins, and your life changes like that. And that's the secret to this league, is just trying to stay like this. Like, no matter what, if you're winning all the time or losing all the time, you gotta stay even keel.
But that doesn't work outside of the room and outside of the organization, right? Fans, media, everybody hangs on what happened in this game. Why couldn't you win this one game?
Yeah.
Why were you so great tonight? And then I do remember Travis Green after the win against Calgary. He seemed a little ornery. I think he was just tired of answering questions in a 4-game game.
Oh God.
But the question basically was, why did you win tonight? And he's like, guys, I'm telling you, you can play great the night before and still lose and still look the exact same way and win. So, which is a very valid point, right? We've seen, right? We talk about the Ranger game a lot because they dominated that game and didn't win. Well, those are games where you win. You're like, yeah, we were all over them. We dominated them. It's just sometimes they go in and sometimes they don't. So that's what is
Just
interesting.
ask Rod Brindamore the year they got swept by the New York Rangers in the playoffs, and Carolina outplayed New York every single game. It just goes to show you that's what really good goaltending does in this league. You get good, consistent goaltending. You're sometimes going to win some games you shouldn't, and you're usually going to make the playoffs. That's the secret to this league. And if you get in the playoffs and you get really good goaltending, it's gonna take you a long way. So hopefully with Ottawa, that's going to work itself out, and we're going to get to a point like you and I talked about it, where it doesn't matter who Ottawa's playing, and we're not talking about Allmark anymore, and we're talking about him in a good way.
Yeah.
So we shall see. We shall see.
Quickly, Justin Zay. God, I hate if I pronounce your name wrong. Doesn't matter. You still get the prize. You have won the Thomas Chabot bobblehead, and Jeremy Blanc. You have won the hoodie. The answer to the question is Bob Kudelski, who had a natural hat trick in the first period as they won 3-2 over the San Jose Sharks.
Kudelski had the first. Wow.
First goals against San Jose, because I already got an email that it would talk about Neil Brady, and it's not Neil Brady.
Yeah, that's right. He had the first goal in franchise history.
Yes.
But Kudelski that's a good question.
Also, I was hoping that we were going to connect with Jeff Merrick this week to have him back on the show, because he's launching his new show next week. December 2nd, The Sheet with Jeff Merrick launches 3 p.m. Eastern, live on the Daily Faceoff YouTube channel. Every weekday, 3 p.m. Eastern. You know, he knows his hockey knowledge. Everything is on the table, from PWHL to the junior hockey to the NHL, to all leads in between. It's funny. I talked to him yesterday, and it's like, it's never a 5-minute conversation.
No,
we got going down. We brought up Bill LaForge, because I said, Yorkie brought up Bill LaForge. You get whatever.
Oh God.
And then we got on the topic of David Frost, and about how we both covered the David Frost trial back in the day and what that was like. Anyway, it was an hour-long conversation. So any topic, he pretty much can discuss it. So that's on the Daily Faceoff YouTube channel. So make sure you like and subscribe. The same thing you do with our show, please.
The Sheet.
Are you trying to make fun of The Sheet?
That show is Sheet.
No.
You're the one that put it in my head a while ago. The show will be great. Merrick is one of my great friends in the game of hockey. Worked a lot with him. It's he's got one of those brains, Wally. It's just like you don't know what's going on up there. There's a lot of information up there. I used to go on the Jeff Merrick show all the time when he was doing that. He was doing that by himself too, like just I watched it. One man operation.
How do you do that?
Yeah. Wow. It's like back in the days. Remember the old Jim Rome show? But Rome used to have guys in his ear feeding him material. Doing it without that's pretty tough.
Yes. So that's how you know the knowledge is good. Also, tomorrow's show, unless things have changed, we got the big man on the show.
Oh, the big man. Big Earn Gratz, Brian McGrattan, 4 p.m. tomorrow. Wally's been trying for years to track Gratz down. I became so here's the thing with Gratz. I never knew Gratz, one, because he played after my career was done. I got to know Gratz at some of our alumni events. He is such a good dude, man. I love this guy. He's one of the toughest guys of his generation. Just such a big man, and he's one of those guys. You go back to those days where players were legitimately afraid of this guy. That's how menacing he was. And you watch him now, like when we play in these charity events, Gratz has some sneaky good skills. Like he has some pretty good mitts, makes some plays, but just a good human being.
We'll bring him up. The loss to discuss. I looked up. I think he had 39 fights one year in the AHL. Like, just mind-boggling. Okay, Yorkie, great show. Get to the pool, or are you at the elbow room today?
I walked by the elbow room yesterday. They had a guitar. Guy was on the guitar on the patio. No, today, the elbow room is a little bit down the ways. They've got some new stuff open. I might go with a couple of taco bars down on the strip here in Fort Lauderdale. But no, today today's going to be, I'm going to go for breakfast right now. Got a little workout. We'll do a little poolside. And then we're going to go for a little afternoon coffee on a great patio. And Los Olas is for people that know, a really cool little spot in Fort Lauderdale.
All right. And then you'll do your Brian McGrattan research. Okay. Chat with you tomorrow. Thanks everybody stopping by. We will do Brian McGrattan, 4 p.m. tomorrow Eastern.
See you, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming In Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.